In this video, you will learn the various types of functions available in SQL. You will also learn to use the character and number functions in select statements. Consider a situation in which Alice, the HR manager, wants a report of the average salaries across various departments of all employees. As a developer, you will first retrieve all the employee salaries and their department information and apply the mathematical operation to calculate the average salary. These operations performed on the values returned by an SQL query are called functions. Functions are a very powerful feature of SQL. SQL functions sometimes take arguments and always return a value. There are two types of functions: single row functions, multiple row functions. Single row functions operate on a single row only and return one result per row. There are different types of single row functions. In this video, we will cover the following functions: character functions that accept character input and can return both character and number values. Number functions that accept numeric input and return numeric values. You will learn about the following single row functions in the upcoming videos: date functions that operate on values of date data type, conversion functions that convert a value from one data type to another, general functions that take any data type and can also handle nulls. Multiple row functions can manipulate groups of rows to give one result per group of rows. These functions are also known as group functions, which will be covered in the later part of the course. You can use single row functions to manipulate data items. In the syntax, function underscore name is the name of the function. arg1, arg2 is any argument to be used by the function. This can be represented by a column name or an expression. Suppose you want all the employee names to be displayed in uppercase. For this, you can make use of character functions. Character functions can be divided into the following: case conversion functions and character manipulation functions. Consider the following statement: even though the employees table contains an employee with the last name of Higgins, no rows are displayed. This is because all the data in the employees table is stored in proper case, and hence the name Higgins in lowercase does not find a match in the table. To overcome this, you can use case conversion functions to convert the case of character strings. Lower, upper, and init cap are the three case conversion functions. Lower converts mixed case or uppercase character strings to lowercase. Upper converts mixed case or lowercase character strings to uppercase. Init cap converts the first letter of each word to uppercase and the remaining letters to lowercase. You can rewrite the SQL statement as shown. This converts the last name column to lowercase. Because both the names are now in lowercase, a match is found and one row is selected. The name in the output appears as it was stored in the database. To display the name in uppercase, use the upper function in the select clause. Here are a few other character manipulation functions. Concat joins values together. Note that you are limited to using two parameters with concat. Substring extracts a string of the length specified as an argument. Length shows the length of a string as a numeric value. InString finds the numeric position of a named character. LPadd returns an expression left padded to the length of n characters with a character expression. rpad returns an expression right padded to the length of n characters with a character expression. Let's make use of these functions in examples. In the first example as shown, The query displays employee last names and job IDs for all employees who have the string REP starting at the fourth position of the string. In the second example as shown, the query displays the employee ID, a concatenated first name and last name, the length of the last name, and the position of the first occurrence of the letter A in the last name for those employees whose last names end with the letter N. Suppose you have a requirement to concatenate the first names and the last names of employees to create a username and display them in uppercase. In such cases, you can nest the single row functions to any depth using parentheses. For example, observe the SQL statement displayed on the screen. This displays details of employees in Department 60. The innermost parentheses are evaluated first. The evaluation of the SQL statement involves 3 steps. The inner function retrieves the first 3 characters of the last name. The outer function concatenates the first name with result 1. The outermost function converts the result 2 to uppercase. Result 3 is displayed. The entire expression becomes the column heading because no column alias was given. So far, we have only seen functions that accept character literals as parameters. Suppose you want to generate a report to round off the commission earned by an employee to the nearest value. You can make use of numeric functions that accept numeric input and return numeric values. Observe some of the numeric functions on the screen. Round rounds value to a specified decimal. Truncates value to a specified decimal. Ceil returns the smallest whole number greater than or equal to a specified number. Floor returns the largest whole number equal to or less than a specified number. Mod returns remainder of division. Let's use the round function in an example. The round function rounds the column, expression, or value to n decimal places. If the second argument is 2, the value is rounded to 2 decimal places. If the second argument is 0 or is missing, the value is rounded to 0 decimal places. Conversely, if the second argument is -2, the value is rounded to 2 decimal places to the left, that is, rounded to the nearest unit of 100. Do you remember what a dual table is? Here's a quick recap. The dual table is owned by the user sys and can be accessed by all users. It contains one column dummy and one row with the value x. You can use the dual table to test out various functions. Both the select and from clauses are mandatory, and calculations do not need to select data from the actual tables. Here is an example of using trunc function. The trunc function truncates the column, expression, or value to n decimal places specified as the second argument. If the second argument is 0 or is missing, the value is truncated to 0 decimal places. If the second argument is 2, the value is truncated to 2 decimal places. Conversely, if the second argument is -1, the value is truncated to 1 decimal place to the left. Another important numeric function is mod. It is often used to determine whether a value is odd or even. The mod function finds the remainder of the first argument divided by the second argument. An example of using the mod function is as displayed on the screen. This displays employee records where the employee ID is an even number. In this video, you learned about the various types of functions available in SQL. You also learned to use the character and number functions within select statements. In the next video, you will learn to use the date functions in select statements. Thank you for watching.